What is up, fellow developers? My name is Tyler Potts, and today's video we're going to create this responsive nav bar at the top here. It's going to have menus with nested menus, pretty cool, and it's going to be responsive. So if we was to go into responsive design mode and open up, let's say, mobile, you can see we get a little menu button. We can open up a menu where we can open up our nested menus inside that and also close and open the menu. But yeah, so we're going to start off with this, and yeah, let's get started. So I've actually already created the boilerplate code for this, basically just the body, because we don't need a body, and also gone in and set up ready where we're going to put the header, so, and added the images and stuff. This repo will be on a GitHub and it'll be in the description, so you can download all the code afterwards as well. So firstly, let's actually press Ctrl-Alt-T, and I'm going to open this using live-server, hit enter. So this is what we've got so far. I need to actually compile the code, so let's now open a naff terminal and go SASS --watch main.sass, sass to main.css, hit enter, and that will compile that. So if we move over, and there you go. So this is what we've got. There's all the code which I've wrote so far, and it literally just links to this simple, nice styling. So we have some content there, so it doesn't look boring. So we're actually going to be doing all our code over here, where this header is here. So we're going to actually write header tag to start with. And inside our header tag, we're going to have multiple elements. For first part we're going to have is a container. The container is going to constrain the widths of the left and right widths. And then inside there we're going to have a brand. And inside the brand we're going to have a H2, which is going to say coding, a span, and it's going to say magic. These are just, again, styling. So these are the first part, so let's quickly go and style that. So up here, let's just minimize that, and underneath the body, let's give us some space. We're going to say header, and the background color for the header is going to be background color, is going to be 222. Hit save. If we go back, you'll see there's this little dark header at the top now. So in there we're going to have the container, and the container is going to have a position of relative, because we're going to have elements which are absolute inside of it. We're then going to give it a max width of 960 pixels, not wide at all, just for demonstration purposes. We're going to have a padding of 15 pixels, a margin of 0 auto, and a display of flex, because we're going to flex our items. We're actually going to align our item center, and we're also going to say justify content space between. So now if we hit save and we go back, you'll see this is now kind of centered. Well, it's this section here, this container is now centered on the page. So inside of here we're going to set up the brand, and inside the brand we're going to have the H2. That's not H2, and the first thing we're going to do is set the color to white. We're then going to give it a font weight, or font size, sorry, of 28 pixels, and then a font weight of 900. We're then going to affect the span in there, which has the magic in there, and we're going to give this a color of FF5858 and a font weight of 400. Hit save, and there you go. So that's just what that looks like. Nice little what would you call it, like this where your logo would be or whatever, but that's what we've done there. So that's pretty straightforward. We're then going to set up some more HTML. So if we go back to our HTML, underneath the brand, so give it a bit of space, we're going to create a naff.navbar, and this navbar is obviously going to hold our menu. So we're going to use an li, a ul, an unordered list, and we're going to have an li with the menu item, and then we're going to at times 4, just going to have 4 of those, and then inside that we're going to have an anchor tag. So we're going to hit enter. I'm just going to put hashtags in. This first one's going to be home, hashtag about, hashtag, and this one's going to be surfaces. Then we're going to have contact. Let's make this a bit neater. I'm just going to click on all of these, break that under, go to the end, There we go, that looks a lot cleaner. So that's looking good. But for our surfaces, this is going to be a drop down menu with all our different surfaces. So we're going to add a class called SASS sub menu. Now inside this li, we're going to have a ul, which is going to have the class of sub menu on it. We're then going to have an li with the class of menu hyphen item. We're going to have 2 of those items, 3 of those items, and inside those we're going to have a's again. So it's going to be a. Oh, that's not a hash, and it's going to be web development. The one below. Let's break these down quickly. The one below it is going to have design, but this one is also going to have SASS sub menu, because this one's also going to have a sub menu inside of it. So let's break this away, and then the final one is going to be animation, which is cool. Now in here we're going to have another sub menu, and inside that, it's going to be ul, we're going to have another li with the menu item. We're going to have 2 of those, and inside of that we're going to have anchor tags. So again, we're just going to have a hash, and this one's going to say web design, and then this one's going to say print. So these are all our surfaces, and we've now set up separate down menus. If we go into here, you'll see it's really messy. If we highlight it, you can see that there's the structure. The structure's there, but it's not fully finished. So let's actually go and start styling this up. So inside of our SASS, we're going to go underneath our brand, and we're going to start off the Navbar. And inside the Navbar, we're going to have the menu. We're going to display that as flex, and we're going to say list style type equal to none, because we don't actually want any bullet points. We're then going to say menu item. So each menu item is going to have a position of relative, because we're going to have absolute position in there. We're then going to get the A, and it's going to be display block. We're also going to get the color equal to FFF. Text decoration of none, and padding of 10 pixels, 25 pixels. Hit save. There you go. So this is what we're looking at right now. But again, it's not looking the best. We're also going to set up a hover state in here, just so we have one. It's going to be hover, color, and we're going to say FF585A, and background color RGB 50, 50. Hit save. Now if you hover over it, you can see we've got a nice simple hover effect. Now below the A, we're going to do and.has sub menu. So we're checking if the element we've created has a sub menu, and then we're going to say if the first A, so an A directly inside of this sub menu, we're going to say padding right 35 pixels, and we're going to say and after content plus, we'll display it as block. We'll say position absolute. We're going to say top 50%. Right is going to be equal to 15 pixels. And we're going to give it a transform. So we're going to bring it back up slightly because it's going to be off-centered. We're going to say minus 50% to center it. We're going to give it a color of white, a font size of 18 pixels, and a font weight. This font weight is going to be equal to 500, so a medium font weight. And there you go. So it's kind of there. We need to actually say on the A, we need to say position relative. Sorry. So there you go. So now this is centered to that, which is all good. But again, we have another issue. But first, past the after, we're going to say and hover and after. We'll say color FF5858. So now when we hover over it, the plus also changes color. So below this, we're going to say dot sub menu. And the submenu is going to have position of absolute. So straight away you'll notice that's fixed. The headers being off center or really wide and stuff. We now got some floating elements down below, which again isn't great, but it's a start. We're going to have a index of 9999 and an opacity of 0, because we're going to start off with nothing. We also want a transform translate white of minus 200 pixels, because we want it to appear that it's animating and appearing from above. So below transform, we're going to have pointer offense none, because even though it's invisible, you can still click it, and if we say pointer offense none, you then just click straight through it. So we're going to give it a transition, so over time it will make changes. We'll say ease out and go back, and now there you go. So the menu is now hidden, and we've just got the main menu for now, which is cool. It's cool. But let's go under here. Under the transition, we're going to say min width is equal to 100%, but we're going to say the actual width is equal to max content. We're going to give it a background color of 2222 and a list style type of none. We're going to say dot menu hyphen item, and we'll give it a width of 100% because we want it to all take up as much space as it can. Now underneath submenu, we're going to say and hover, and then we're going to say the submenu directly inside of the li we're hovering. We're going to say its opacity to 1, its transform translate y to 0, and then we're going to say pointer offense all, because that means it's active. So if we go back and we hover, you can see that works, and so does that. So that's kind of a menu, but the issue with the design one, it kind of goes over animation, so you can't actually click the animation unless you're really quick, but some people might not be that quick. So we're going to offset to the left slightly. So we're actually going to say inside of here, we're going to say sub menu. So we're going to say a sub menu inside of a sub menu needs to go to the top. It also needs to have the right of 100%, so it goes to the right side. So now we hover over surfaces, and if we hover over design, you can see it comes over on the left now, which is a lot nicer, and I think it just looks really cool when it comes down. So outside of the hover, or actually, I think we can go right outside of the. So where? Sorry, I need to figure out. So in the navbar, we can say at media screen now, so we can now start thinking about mobile. Well, I guess we need an actual mobile element, don't we? So we've got this, it's good. It's now responsive and it's good, but on mobile, so if we open up mobile responsive view, you can see it's broken and it doesn't work. So we need to fix that. So we need to say, so firstly, let's go to our main SASS, and inside of our navbar, at the bottom, we just want to say at media screen and max width equals 767 pixels, so just under a tablet size. We're going to say display block position absolute top 0 left 0. So we're just going to position this to where we want it to be. We're going to select 100 phi W, but then we're going to set a min height of 100 phi H, and then we're going to say C index of 9999. And a background color of 2222. Now if we hit save and we go back, you can see now the menu's there on mobile and it's in a different position. So again, it's working, but it still looks terrible. So we're going to actually say dot menu. So the menu in there, we're going to say flex direction column. So if we hit save and we go back, you'll see it's now in column and it's no longer breaking the layout. So if we click this and that, you can see it's kind of working. It's kind of there, but it's not perfect again. So one of the flaws we have, and I actually want to set this to 100%. I don't know why it's so small. So one of the issues we have now, when we click on the design tab, the design items are actually on the left here and they're hiding over here because we've set it to be that. So we actually need to fix that too. So in our menu, we're going to say .has submenu. We're going to say inside that submenu, we're going to say, well, inside that has submenu, we want to get the first submenu and we want to display it as none. We also want to give it a position of relative because we don't want it to be floating. We're then going to say the submenu inside of that is also going to have a position of relative. It's going to have a top of 0 because we don't want any top, a left of 0 and a right of 0. Hit save, go back, and there you go. So it's all good. Now we need to actually set up the hover state. So inside of our has sub, we're going to say and hover. And we're going to say the first submenu inside of this hover is going to be display block. Hit save, go back, and if I click that, you can see it opens that one and opens that one. So that's our sub menu done now, but the issue is, again, we can't actually, for SASS, this menu is always open on mobile, so that's not good. So we actually want to go back up to this here, the media query, and we want to say opacity is equal to 0, our pointer events are going to be equal to none, and our transition is going to be equal to 0.4 ease out. So if we go back, you can see it now doesn't appear, but again, another issue. How do we open it? We've got to go back into our HTML, and we've actually got to add some HTML in. The HTML we want to add in is above the navbar. We want to say .mobile naff, and we're going to say a.menu-button or open menu. Give it a hash, and we're just going to say menu as the name. So now if we go back, you can see we've got this menu, but if we go back to desktop, you can see the menu is still there, and we don't actually need it when we're on desktop. So let's actually go to our CSS, and let's go above the navbar and say .mobile-naff display none, but then say at media screen and max width 767, so where our alpha breakpoint is, we'll just go display it as block. So go back, you can see it's there now, but if we go out, it's not displaying on desktop anymore. It's great, so it only displays on mobile. Let's also say in here .open menu, we're going to give it a color of white, text decoration of none. I think that's actually it. There you go. So yeah, so now you can click it, which is great. But the issue is our menu doesn't open. And what we're going to do is we're going to create a JavaScript file now. So we're going to say main.js, and in here we're just going to say open or toggle mobile menu. I'm going to say let or const. I'm going to say open menu is equal to document dot query selector dot open hyphen menu. Yep, so we're going to get the open menu button. We're also going to duplicate this, and we're going to get a close menu button, but we need to set that close menu button up. So we're actually going to comment out for now because we're not going to use it, but we will use it soon. So we're going to say open menu dot add event listener, and we're going to listen out for a click. So we're going to say when someone clicks on the open menu, we're going to run a toggle menu function. So we're going to say function toggle menu, and then in here we actually need to get, well, up here we need to get reference to the navbar, and we want to say document dot query selector dot open hyphen dot navbar, and we're just going to say navbar dot class list dot toggle, and we're going to say is hyphen active. So if we go back and into our main, and we go down to our navbar, go to our media query, and we've set it to 0, so it's not appearing. But now we need to say and.is active. So when we get the class of active, we want to say opacity 1 and pointer offense all. Hit save, go back. So now when we hit menu, you can see this menu opens and we can shorten that, but we can't close it. So now it's stuck open. So great. We need to go back to our index.html, and just under the UL inside of the navbar component, we want to say a dot, maybe, yeah, no, we're just gonna do an anchor. We're just gonna do an anchor tag and say anchor hash with the class of close menu, and we're just gonna say close menu. So now in our SASS, we want to once again just hide that, because right now if we go back to desktop, that close menu is there, which is an issue. We don't want it there. So let's go up above our, oh, is it down? Before our media query, and we're going to say dot close menu. We'll say color is equal to FFF, font size, or not font size, text decoration is equal to none. We're just going to set display none, and then we're going to say and media screen and max width 767 pixels. So again, same like we've done below, and we're just going to say display block. Also, I actually want to say text align center. Cool, so go back, if we go here, we've got this close menu button, which doesn't do anything. So in the JavaScript, we actually just want to say, we want to copy this, and at the front we just want to say close underscore menu, uncommently close menu tag. Now if we go back, we can open it, we can close the menu, we can open the menu again, we can open each set of services and click on the links we require, and then we can close it, and it's responsive. So if we break it open, you can see here we go, this is the desktop, and if we was to, let's say, start shrinking the screen, you can see at a certain point it changes, so the menu swaps out, and then you can properly look at it in a different view. But yeah, it completely changes as you scroll through, or as you resize, and that is essentially how you do a responsive navbar with nested menus using mainly CSS and a little bit of JavaScript. So it's quite straightforward, it's pretty fun, and yeah, well, I really enjoyed doing this one. So if you enjoyed it, then don't forget to leave a thumbs up. If you want to see more, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget the code is in a repository on my GitHub. It will also be in the link of this on the description. So thanks for watching, guys, and peace out. Trying to protect your soul.